NBC News in the state of North Carolina can project, as expected, Roy Cooper, the winner of that Democratic Senate primary there. You can see some of the, again, early moment here in North Carolina, but Roy Cooper, former governor there in the state, widely expected to be the Democratic candidate in what is going to be a high-profile Senate race, taking it according to our NBC News projection. I believe we have one more projection to get to as well. And that is, we've got on the Republican side now, again, as expected, the former RNC chairman, backed by President Trump, Michael Whatley, the projected winner for the Republican Senate primary in that critical state. Super interesting here. I wouldn't say there's any surprises, but Mr. Speaker, this does really set the table now for a key Senate race. Obviously, there's, I think, more discussion, more energy around the House side, given how close the margins are there. But talk to me about North Carolina. How are you feeling about Michael Whatley's chances when it comes up against somebody like the former governor, Roy Cooper, who's not lost a race he's been in? I understand Republicans will say he hasn't had a tough race, but I'm curious as to your thoughts.
Look, I'm a big fan of Michael Whatley. I've watched what he's been able to accomplish. There's a little advantage here when you have a former governor that's won 2 times in a very competitive state. This is going to be a competitive race. Everybody has known it from the beginning. What I see is a really good work ethic in Michael Whatley. I've watched it from time before, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. This is a state that we're going to have a really big turnout. This is the concern on off-presidential elections. Usually the party of power has a higher intensity. So it doesn't matter what the polls say, it determines who turns out to vote. Democrats have a high intensity. That's why we've got to get our economy up. And as the economy continues to grow, that's good for Republicans. Health care, be able to do. We're going to have to be able to show why does it matter for Republicans to keep the majority, and what will you do? Look, presidential elections are aspirational, what the next 4 years will be about. Off-year elections are a report card, and we've got to show a very good report card here.
Mr. Speaker, when I talk to folks on Capitol Hill about North Carolina, Republicans say, we think we can hold on to the Senate seat. However, we're going to have to divert resources to North Carolina in order to do it. How do you see that? And could that potentially undercut some of the states that should be safer?
Look, I don't see spending money on North Carolina diverting it. I see spending money in Texas as diverting money from North Carolina, Alaska, Maine. Look, Georgia should be more competitive for us. That's where Democrats have a little advantage here. And I do give Schumer some credit on his recruiting. He put in play Alaska and others. We will win those. But it's kind of what I did in 2010 to win the majority. You challenge the top people, make them spend their money at home, and you go win other areas. Remember, when we won the majority a couple of years ago, we beat the DCCC chairman, who never thought he could do it. Mike Lawler, we played in it late. We ran the money early. So you go after the top individuals. That's why I don't think spending money in North Carolina is diverting. I think that's making sure we keep the majority. If we have to spend money in Texas, then we're diverting.
I mean, that's part of it. The other piece of it, what's been interesting here is, Cooper, you've seen him already, and you've seen some of this, too, messaging on affordability. This is going to be the issue in November, as you well know. And I wonder how you see Republican messaging on this. President Trump continues to, and reiterated this just, days ago, I think, at the State of the Union, if my timeline is right, it feels like a century, that, that he thinks the economy is roaring. He feels like it's a massive success. I will tell you, I've talked to a number of Trump voters who say, I don't feel it. I don't feel it in my life. I don't feel it in my budget. Are Republicans doing enough on what is going to be the premier issue come November right now?
This is always a challenge. When you look at the numbers of the economy and how you feel it, feeling always lags behind. So remember, the election's not today. And the tough part is we had somebody could contrast against, a wide open border, inflation going wild when you had Biden. What the Democrats are going to have to do is show us what would they do if they won the majority. Roy Cooper is going to have to run on an agenda. What is his agenda? Is his agenda Biden? We're going to have to contrast that. And that's what we have to play in the next coming months. But we have to have the resources. Look, Roy Cooper has won the state twice. So he is a very formidable candidate. But he also has a record. So we have to explain it to those in North Carolina what his record is and which things he supported and show that contrast. Look, have we been able to secure the border? Yes, we did. What the Democrats were not able to do. We should celebrate those things. Have we bring interest rates lower than they've been in quite some time? Yes, we have. Have we curbed inflation? Yes. Now, we've got energy prices lower with the Iran war going on. They've ticked up a little, but I don't think they'll stay. These are the things we have to look for, but really do that contrast, which the votes about Roy and what Michael Whatley will actually bring to the Senate.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.